What's going on, Acolyte Squad? My name is Oliver, and today we're going to be going over the OOKAY and Fox Stevenson Lighthouse lead from the drop. Before we get into this, I just want to say I will be putting the download in the description, and I'm also actually doing Skype lessons on music production and sound design, and pretty much helping you guys with anything you want to know about music production. So I'll put the link to my Facebook in the description, and you can hit me up there if you want. So without further ado, let's jump into this. So first, I'm going to play the original song, and then we'll go over mine, and then we'll play them together because it sounds so similar. Alright, so here's the original, playing in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, super cool, love this song, so I knew I had to remake this. So here's my version. Yeah, so it's not actually that far away. Like, if you play them together, it's actually pretty cool. So yeah, I actually did this using 2 instances of Serum, and we'll go over them one by one. So let's start with the main lead sound. So it just sounds like this. Yeah. Alright, so for the first oscillator, you go into analog and then DS, saw, and try. Unison at 1, wavetable position at 3, sync at 1.04, very specific, and level all the way down. Oscillator B is just the default wavetable at 5, unison, detune at 0.04, blend at 75, I'm pretty sure that's the default. Level all the way down, wavetable position, doesn't matter because there's nothing else on the wavetable. And so without everything else on it, let's just turn these off. Without all the effects on it, it just sounds like this. Very little modulation going on. I just have the LFO 1 like this on the levels of both, and oscillator B is a little bit less. So this is at 61, that one's at 80. Yeah, so next we're gonna look at the filter, which is an all pass. So before, after. Yeah. So not too much of a difference, but it makes a difference later on when you have all the compression on it and everything. So next, hyper dimension. You got the mix all the way down on the hyper part. And dimension, you've got the mix at 33% and the size at 18%, and it just adds a little bit of dimension to the outsides. It's like an after hit, and it just makes it sound more like it's in a small room, which is kind of the sound we were going for. So with that, it sounds like this. Cool. Now some distortion. Anytime you're making a lead, well, I don't want to use blanket terms like anytime, but often when you're making a lead, to make it sound like really good in the track and like professional, you want to have some distortion on it to give it that extra kind of high end on it. So if we listen to it before and after, you'll see what I mean. Whoops. And with it on. Just totally makes it. Next, the chorus mix is at 51%. Whoops. Alright, well, the low pass filter was at like 7,300 something, about that position. Fee is at 26%. Depth is at 18.8 milliseconds. Delay 2 is at 1.9, and delay 1 is at 2.3. And I don't know if I touched the rate, but it's at 0.1 hertz. And what this does is it kind of makes it sound more like it's in a room, which is like Fox Stevenson's more recent stuff has been more like that. So before, and after. Yeah, cool. Now it wouldn't be, oh wait, no, EQ first. Alright, so I've got the frequency of the first band at 884 Hertz. Q, 50% gain all the way up. Gain doesn't really matter because it's a cutoff. And the second one is at a peak with the frequency at 3,829 Hertz. Q is at 49% and gain is at 5.7 decibels. So before and after. Just give it more of a vowely sound, and it took out some of the unwanted frequencies. Now multiband compression, my favorite part. You got the threshold down to negative 10.9 decibels. Ratio didn't touch. Released at 440.6 milliseconds and didn't touch anything else. And you turn on multiband. And this is what it sounds like before. After. And it gives it kind of a hit at the beginning, which is awesome. And the last thing is a really small reverb. So I have the size all the way down. Decay at 3.5 seconds. Oh, and I've got it on Hall mode. If you change it to plate, it's completely different settings, so don't do that. High cut, I have it 35%. I'm pretty sure that's the default. And spin depth, we'll put that up a little bit now. And keep the mix at 28%. So this is what it sounds like with everything. Cool. So that's the main sound. Literally nothing else going on. Oh, the only thing is the in the voicing tab, turn it to mono always, and then put the portamento to 22 milliseconds. So when you look at the notes here, you can see I've got a lower one going up, which gives the lower one going up. Okay. So you can see I've got one at A sharp starting a little bit before the one at C. And what that does is it gives it a little bit of like glide at the beginning. Which if you turn off the whoa, don't do that. Wait. Okay. So if you turn off the portamento, this is what it sounds like. And with it, so it just gives it a little bit more of a natural glide, which kind of enhances the sound. So that's it for the first one, and then the other one is just kind of giving it some more high end. So this is just the default wavetable, 1 octave up. I've got the same voicing settings. Unison is at 6. Detune is at 0.09. Wavetable doesn't matter. Level all the way down, and the LFO is just on the level of this, going up to about 58. In terms of filters, we've got the high notch, I think that stands for. High notch 12 with the cutoff at 213 Hertz. Resonance at 30%. Frequency at 69%. And drive at 11%. Not as much in the way of effects, but we've got the chorus rate at 0.08 Hertz, delay 1 at 5 milliseconds, delay 2 at 0, depth all the way up, feed at 10%, low pass filter at 1563 Hertz, and mix at halfway. And the reverb, the size, so we went with Hall again. And then the size is at 12%, decay at 3.6 seconds, low cut at 12%, high cut at 35%, and I didn't touch anything else except for the mix, which is at 26%. And that's it. So super simple patches, but it was really fun like combining them and coming up with that stuff. And so in terms of post-processing, all I have is an EQ to take out the lower frequencies that we don't want, and a stereo enhancer, because when you hear it in the song, the lead is pretty mono, which is why like you can focus on it so well as the cymbals and stuff are going on in the background, like super wide. Cool. So if I take these off, it sounds like this. What? It's the wrong one. And then with them on. Yeah, so I just have this making it a little bit mono, and that's all this plugin is doing. And that's it. That's pretty much the sound, so not crazy hard at all. So there you have it, the OOKAY and Fox Stevenson Lighthouse lead. Remember to subscribe and hit that like button like it owed you money, and be sure to check out our website because we have some pretty dope packs and project files that will totally step up your sound design and production game. Anyway, keep productioning, mates, and I will see you in the next video.